Hey y'all. Okay, so hopefully I'll have y'all laughing today. um, because I started thinking about this story. It was kind of funny. So my daughter was about like 3 years old, and I was like painting my toenails, and she comes in and she grabs the like color or something, and then I was like, oh, that's hot pink, and then like she picked up another one that was like reddish or pinkish, and she was like, oh, is this cold pink? Anyways, I thought it was so funny. And then every time I see that, I always get reminded of how funny it was. And it still is. But, anyways. Um, okay, so eventually, when it comes to my son, I'll tell this one story. And y'all could probably like hear it. And, y'all be like, that is interesting. And it's like funny, odd that I can tell strangers or, make a video to talk about it, whatever. And other people will get it, but for some reason with my family, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe they don't see the bigger picture, whereas I can see the bigger picture. I guess the fact of like, I mean, eventually I have to share the story for you to totally understand. But I guess you can say how that does seem like they could like use and abuse in certain ways, people. But, um, and then for a child, I mean, like the to see the world like the way it's just like really. But anyways, so y'all get what I'm saying. Like for some reason, there's like this huge blockage with my family to get the bigger picture or whatever. Because how odd is that to know a lot of things, like that. But which kind of leads into a lot of other things because I went to them and it was like, can you explain to me, are they trying to say that what they put up there takes away what shouldn't be there, and this and that and the other. So anyways, which it is just kind of so weird how like it was years ago that I actually was talking to my neighbor and I said something like, yeah, at this moment a lot of what you've watched and what you've read so far is a big deal, or however I worded it. And someone sitting there which I think was her guest or whatever, visiting with him, but they like started shaking their head because I think they kind of understood where I was, going or whatnot. But anyways, I mainly wanted to touch on those few things real quick, and then on this other thing, I have this magnet. Now that light, try not to see. So if you can see that date, I just was mainly showing this because there's a date on there or whatnot. So, like, for me, I was paying attention, like, okay, so the world or whoever says you shouldn't say this or whatnot, the way I was looking at it, like, but the Bible says this, you know? So, if people or whoever, which of course time to look and investigate and reading about what it all is and this and that and the other. But, I'm just saying kind of in general. Y'all know what I mean. But, anyways, so I'm just saying, like, so to me, it's like more proof to believe in the Bible because they're saying not to say or do or whatever this, but the Bible's saying this. So, and then which might even could make it even more confusing for non-believers, which kind of leads into how like even years ago, like I remember telling a few people along the way, like even believers could maybe argue or debate about what the Bible says, like about anything, like what the Bible says, or even just a verse or anything like that. And then I happened to say that not too long ago to someone else that even Christians can argue, debate or argue about what the Bible says and stuff like that. And then one of the verses, I think it was a Job verse that I shared before. I hope y'all like read the whole chapter because for me it gave me a lot of comfort when I came across it. And thought there was something else I was going to say about the verses that I had mentioned before. Oh yeah, and then I did think about the other verses about how I started thinking, oh yeah, different denominations. Look at those verses, probably all different and stuff too, you know. But anyhow, so I just want to do a quick video to say that. And I did want to get to another thing, another story about the family, but I'll do that next time. And oh yeah, so it's like I can't talk about an experience because I had an experience with my dad, so that's the only way I was looking at it like that. Like, well, I went to the Messianic Jewish church years back or whatever. I was like, so that's an experience that I could talk about how I remember, you know? But anyways, so I shouldn't be worried or scared to mention something about an experience I had, you know? But anyways, but just say those few things, and I'll see y'all soon. God bless.